This is the plaintiff, Anabelle Peyton. She claims the defendant, her next-door neighbor, has loud mariachi parties late into the night and stinks up the whole complex with her spicy foods.
Raise your right hand.
This is the defendant, Maria Hernandez. Ms. Hernandez claims that the plaintiff doesn't like her because she is jealous and racist.
All rise.
Permanent judges Anoush Hakimi and Peter Shahriari are joined by civilian guest judge Mira Kim, a Koreatown liquor store owner who's armed with a baseball bat under the counter and zero tolerance for BS in the courtroom.
Before we get into the facts of your case, I want to applaud you on your truly bold choice to bring your litigation to the court of maximum justice, where anything is possible. For that, we salute you. Welcome. Now, I have read the complaint and the answer. Ms. Peyton suing the defendant, Ms. Hernandez here, for nuisance. You and Ms. Hernandez are neighbors. You claim ever since the time Ms. Hernandez moved in, she has been playing her music very loudly, and there are offensive food odors coming from her apartment. Now, Ms. Hernandez claims that you simply just don't like her. She says that ever since the first day that she moved in, you've been hostile to her, and she is claiming and countersuing you for racial harassment and discrimination. Ms. Peyton, why don't we start with you? Tell us what's happening here.
Thank you. So I've lived at 1151 Lake Drive for the past 4 years. And Maria moved in, and within a week, there started to be these consistent parties. And the music was so loud.
I want to understand, how
Yes.
did you try to handle it civilly? What did you do?
When the music would be as loud as it was, I mean loud enough to shake the wall in between us, I would politely knock on the door, talk to them, ask them to please turn the music down and to refrain from having parties at all hours of the night. But those requests went unanswered.
Did you file a claim with the building? Did you tell them?
I did, yes.
Okay. Do you have evidence of that?
I do, actually. Right here.
Okay, this is a police report. The police report says that you contacted the building management prior to filing the police report. It appears that you have multiple police reports here. When the police arrived at the scene, did they interact with you or did they interact with the defendant?
Both.
Okay. Do you have any other evidence to show that there was loud music or offensive food odors?
I actually have been taking audio recordings.
Okay. You have them with you?
I do. They're on my phone right now. And we share a wall, so these are taken from my bedroom.
Okay. Madam Bailiff, is it ready to play?
It is, yes.
Okay.
They're pulled up.
Wow, that's coming through a wall?
Yeah.
At what time was that recording made?
That one particularly was 11:45.
And you have more of these?
I do. If you keep swiping, there's plenty.
Okay. Madam Bailiff. Ms. Hernandez, do you recognize that music?
I mean, yes, definitely, it's my music. But how can we sure it was through the bathroom?
At what time were you playing that music? Was it past 10 o'clock?
I mean, of course, who starts party before 10 o'clock?
Okay, so you have a racial discrimination claim that you've brought against the plaintiff. Explain that to me.
She was like, oh, you speak English? Are you sure?
That is not how I asked it.
She asked me, are you even legal?
Is that true?
No. No, the day that they moved in, I did introduce myself because I wanted to be neighborly and I wanted to know how we were going to be able to communicate with each other, but there was no sort of tension like that at all. I would never say something like that.
Oh my God. Now you're making it up. You're making it up. Oh my God.
Ms. Hernandez, do you have any evidence other than your statements that...
I've been trying to pull to my building, but nobody really cares about it. Because of course nobody cares about me because I'm not white.
What I want to understand from you is, do you have any text messages, any emails, anything in writing to show that she had some racial animus towards you?
As the same as the dogs. The dogs bark all the time. And
So
I
you're
would
complaining about her dogs.
Yeah, of course.
What is your complaint about her dogs?
So the dogs barking all the time, they piss. And I tell her like, hey, you need to watch your dogs as well.
What evidence do you have regarding your claim about
I
her
called the
dogs?
police several times about it, but nobody went.
Do you have a police report?
I have one. I can put this one.
Okay. Madam Bailiff? This is the police report from the loud music. It also says that you did complain about the dogs barking on here. How long are the dogs barking for?
For hours.
The dogs are barking consistently for hours? Mm-hmm. Okay. Ms. Peyton?
I do have 2 dogs, and the only reason that they bark after hours is due to the music coming through the walls. It is irritating to them, it is irritating to me, and that is why at night they do sometimes bark.
What time do you usually go to bed at night?
I try to be in bed by 10 p.m. every single night.
Tell me how the loud music has interfered with your use of the apartment.
Oh my gosh, especially on the weekends and even during the weeks. I don't get a full night of sleep. These parties last until 1:30 in the morning at least. I have to be up at 6 for work. And then after the parties end, there's foot traffic and people going and doors slamming and closing as people are leaving. And it is just, this goes on until at least 2:30 every single time that there's a party. It is interfering with my quality of work. It is interfering with my quality of sleep and overall my quality of health.
I have no further questions. Judge Peter?
Thank you. Ms. Peyton, would it have made any difference to you if the music was German? Boom, 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 something like that?
No.
How was
music,
it? It was German.
Music is music, and any music happening after 10 p.m. is an interruption. It doesn't matter what kind of music it is.
Would it have mattered to you if the smells of the foods were schnitzel?
No.
What I'm getting at is, did the ethnicity or your perceived ethnicity of the defendant influence your sensitivity?
All I want is to sleep, and all I want is to come home and have a peaceful environment to exist in.
You say nobody cares about you because you're not white?
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
What was the name of the officer that arrived on the scene? I have the name here. Ortega. Officer Ortega, who then notified his chief at the division, an F. Ramirez. They didn't care about you? They took your report?
They took my report, but they did nothing about the dogs.
What were
as
they
well.
supposed to do? Take the dogs out back and
they always
Ms.
do
Hernandez,
something
is it
about
possible
my
they did nothing because there was nothing legally for them to do?
that dogs can be dangerous to
But is that a
me.
possibility?
I don't know.
All right, no further questions. Thank you.
Judge Kim?
Okay. Who the hell bring mariachi band in a 2-bedroom apartment?
It was just music. It wasn't that loud.
It wasn't that loud.
It wasn't that
I
loud.
literally have the audio recordings. The whole room has heard it. The whole room has heard it.
How can I know it was on the bedroom?
You can see.
Excuse me, one at a time, okay? The judge asked the questions, and just answer the questions, please.
After 3rd police visit, you still want another fiesta? Is that a good idea?
What was I supposed to do?
Ay,
Not enjoy my life? Living like a white American? Doing nothing? Like go to Pilates, matcha? Like, what was I supposed to do? What she wants me to do?
Okay.
Live like her, I'm gonna die.
I have said nothing insulting to you this entire time. And then
I
you're
mean,
That is,
turned
no,
that
down.
is
no.
offensive,
I-
Ms.
no.
Hernandez.
Because
Well,
you're
I
here.
will remind you that you're in a court of law. Please watch yourself. Ms. Peyton, one last question for you regarding the offensive food odors. Can you describe what those offensive food odors were?
Yes. Typically, these food odors would start before the parties as well, which is how I always knew that there was going to be a party. And all the windows would be open, and the smells would just be coming in through very meat-heavy smells typically. And as somebody who is a vegetarian, that was problematic for me, but I never thought that I was rude about it. So
Why didn't you turn the exhaust fan on?
I didn't.
All right, I have no further questions. Judge Peter?
No.
Judge Kim?
I have one question. Ms. Peyton, Did you ever try pozole?
No, Your Honor, I have not.
You should try. Then you'll change your mind, being a vegetarian.
Yeah, I think the judge is jealous.
But ladies, do you wish to add anything else before the judges take deliberation?
Maybe you just want to go to the parties. That's what you want.
I can assure
I think that's what you
I can assure you, I do not.
Yeah, I
not
think
wish
you're
to
so
attend the
Thank you,
parties.
folks.
I wish to
Definitely
see.
no. I think
I wish to get a
Okay,
good
I
night.
didn't
that's
invite
enough.
you. I didn't invite you.
That's enough. The court will take a brief recess while the judges deliberate.
All rise.
I have a soft spot in my heart for people who complain about loud neighbors.
Why is that?
Having a loud neighbor is the worst.
Absolutely.
It's worse than having smells come over. It's worse than having diarrhea. It's nonstop. Having a loud neighbor is the worst. And
It's worse than diarrhea?
It's worse than diarrhea because it goes into you, not out of you. I had an apartment and there was an Airbnb next door that constantly, and every asshole that would move in and for their 2 days would blast Post Malone for some reason.
You know, the issue that you had with the Airbnbs was that there's the folks that were coming in were transient. Here we have a different situation.
Look, I didn't care if they were straight, gay, transient. I didn't care. I just wanted them to turn the music down. I don't know what it's like back in Korea. I'm sure if you had a loud neighbor, even worse, if you had like rice paper walls, that would drive you just crazy. There's no drywall.
Absolutely.
Do people, yeah.
So, our culture, they're not loud.
They're not loud? Korean people are not. That's true. Generally, I never heard a car go by with loud Korean music. No, I never heard that.
No.
I never heard that.
No.
So the point I was trying to make, when you have neighbors, you have an unspoken social contract.
Yep.
Right? This is why we have noise ordinance laws, because this is a low social contract society in a big city.
What do you mean by low social contract? I like that. Well, I never heard that.
So it's a very diverse area with many people from many different cultures, right? And it's not the same as it would be in a homogeneous society that has maybe one type of people that have one set of beliefs. In big cities, what you see is that people tend to care less about their neighbor, right? And that's what I think is happening here.
You touch on something, I want to explore this, the social contract. Most of the cases here in Los Angeles, and I filed one of these myself, that deal with noise ordinance violations have to do with either loud music, she says it doesn't happen there, and dogs barking all night, which I'm sure does not happen in Korea, because as soon as that happens, that dog is going to the restaurant, right? No, they're going to eat the dog.
So there's not a lot of noise violations in Korea.
There's no dogs.
Let's focus on, what about in the Korean American community? In those areas, are people playing their music loud?
Even though Korean live in a Korean town,
Yeah.
just only Korean. I don't think it's a so loud mariachi kind of a noise. I don't think so.
Korean people don't play mariachi?
No, they don't have
No,
That's
but
bizarre.
even Korean song, like, oh no,
Yeah, I love that.
that kind of song, they will deal with it because all Korean.
Let's talk about these two, all right? The plaintiff, does she fall into your standard category of a Karen?
Did you hear the sound that the poor woman made?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
recording?
Yeah.
Right?
And
And
that
that was through the
recording was
wall.
insane.
That was through the wall.
Yeah.
No, I don't think she's a Karen. And if she was a Karen, even if she was a Karen, this is a time when a Karen would be right.
What do we think of these accusations that the defendant, Ms. Hernandez, is throwing around about racism?
What if you are a racist, but your neighbor's still a jerk? Even if she came into court with a KKK mask thing on and said this woman's playing loud music, you have to judge the loud music.
Is it fair to make that sort of accusation because someone has been critical towards you?
I think it's irrelevant.
I think that's a very dangerous thing to do
it's
in
Absolutely.
society. It's a race card.
have a name for it.
Yeah.
Don't play the
Don't
race
play
card.
the racist game.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No
Do you ever play
evidence.
the race card, Judge Kim? You ever say, hey, that's...
When I need it.
Yeah, when you need it. Not when it's fair.
It works.
When
That's
have you
the
experienced...
easiest.
When have you really experienced anti-Asian
Like
discrimination?
sometimes when I
When you're
lined
driving?
up, when I used to work at Chase Bank,
Yeah.
customer, go back to your country, ching chang,
Yeah.
all the time.
What I see here in this case, though, is I haven't seen any from Ms. Peyton at all. I think that's incredibly unfair because all you have to do sometimes is just make the accusation.
Right. If as soon as you say that, you pull that card out, a lot of smart people, they have that exact reaction. They're like, okay, you really have nothing to say then.
Sure.
Right? You got to.
Yeah.
It's always about race. It's always about, and it might be part of it, but you got to have something more than just race.
True, absolutely.
Well, I mean, I guess the question is, if they were playing like country music,
Right.
right, and having barbecues, would she be complaining?
Exactly.
Right? Even if the noise levels were the same.
I think she would.
I 100% agree with that. There's a die being cast on her reputation that's not necessarily accurate, and it's a problem to do that in society. I feel that today the country is far less racist than it was
Less racist.
50 years ago.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
I think there's more racism, and it's not just from one side. I think the racism has been democratized. Everybody has their
Well,
racism.
that's a different way of
You know?
looking at it. I think society has changed for the best, and I think these accusations are misplaced and they're very dangerous, in my personal opinion.
I agree. They're toxic.
Absolutely.
I think we all have expressed what we feel. What are we going to do for these people?
So I think this case, predominantly it comes down to evidence, and we got to look at who presented evidence, who didn't present evidence. I think that's where we're going to find our decision.
Present evidence and the credibility of the witnesses, and I think we've established who's credible and who's not.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, let's get into it.
Good.
Ladies, after careful deliberation, the court has come to a verdict on all claims and counterclaims. We have a decision. We're going to give you one last opportunity to be neighborly towards each other. This is your last chance to informally resolve the case. You will see that I'm holding two envelopes in my hand. Inside each of these envelopes is a card. On that card are written the words punish and forgive. In a minute, the bailiff is going to escort the two of you to the courthouse jail. You will have 5 minutes together to discuss your case. If you believe that you did not meet the merits of your case, that you did not persuade the judges to see the case your way, you should seek forgiveness from the other side. If you believe that you did a good job, and if you continue to seek to punish the other side, then you could select to punish the other side. We're going to make that decision privately when you return from the courthouse jail. Nothing you say in there is going to be relevant to us. We're not going to hear it. It is entirely between the two of you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
You understand,
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez? Madam Bailiff, please escort the ladies to the courthouse jail.
Proceed this way.
So here at the prisoner's dilemma, you have a choice to make: punish or forgive. It has consequences. I want to get a sense from you. What do you think? What are your feelings about which way you're leaning?
I mean, honestly, if she would agree to stop throwing these parties and stop being so obnoxious about it and maybe accusing me of things that I'm not, then I would forgive her.
And what if she doesn't agree?
Well, then I think the only option is to punish. I don't really see another way.
You know, there's a lot of discussion of racism and racial overtones in this case. Does that have anything to do with your decision? I mean,
No.
you could tell me privately, heart to heart. Nobody's going to know.
No. She could be anybody.
Has anybody ever accused you of being, and I'm not saying this, a Karen?
No. Nobody has ever accused me of being a Karen. If anything, I think I'm a little too understanding.
Well, you're going to have an opportunity to sit face to face with her, and maybe you'll have a meeting of the minds. Maybe you'll slap each other. I don't know what's going to happen. But whatever happens, just know that there is security close by, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I appreciate it.
Of course. Ms. Hernandez, welcome to the prisoner's dilemma.
Thank you.
You have to make a choice here, Ms. Hernandez, as part of the process, either to forgive or to punish.
Punish.
Okay. You took a little while thinking about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Punish.
You feel very strongly about this. Do you feel that there was racism involved here, huh?
There is. She thinks I'm crazy. She thinks I don't even belong here. I was born in Puerto Rico.
Did you tell her you're from Puerto Rico?
Oh my God, yeah. But she was like, oh my God, which part of Mexico that is?
Yeah.
Typical gringos.
Maybe you should try making a little food for her. You know, maybe if you brought over a sample or invited her to the party.
I was thinking about it, but I think she's gonna ruin the mood, you know?
I understand.
But she's gonna say, oh, I just bought a new Labubu.
Well, you'll have an opportunity now to talk with her. Maybe you can work things out. If it gets too heated, you call our bailiff or you call one of us.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
try to reason with her. Try to maybe build common ground. I would.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay. Good job. Thank you.
Proceed to the jail cell. We'll see you in 5 minutes.
You're gonna too close to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, where else would you like me to go?
Can
This
you
room is the
move?
size of a closet. What do you want me to stand up against the wall?
Yeah, but can you move?
No.
Oh my God.
You
Okay.
move, you go. There's plenty of room.
Why I have to move? Thank you so much for your service.
I didn't want it to come to this, you know.
Oh my God, yes.
No, I really didn't. I mean, I just don't understand why you can't just turn down the damn music. Like, I'm not really asking you for too much. I'm really, really not. I just want to sleep.
Yeah, you said that, but at the beginning you treated me really bad, me and my
How
family.
did I treat you bad?
You were
How did
so
I treat you
obnoxious.
bad?
I mean, you were like acting really weird.
Can you give me one example of what I did that
asking
was
me where I
treating-
was from?
How is that not a friendly question?
Because you say with a suspicious look.
I did.
I
Without
know
suspicion,
that
is-
look. I know that look. That
that
Karen
is
look.
entirely subjective. I did not.
Okay, if you say so.
I don't understand how wanting to know information about my neighbors and trying to be friendly and get to know you would result in
Right
you.
now you have a nice attitude, but you didn't have that attitude before. You were really bad to me.
Because you've kept me up for months.
No,
I
that was
tried to be
before.
kind
That was
to-
even before. I was talking before. You have an attitude with me, definitely. I can sense.
An attitude with you.
It's the vibes.
The vibes. Care to elaborate?
You come to me and you say, yeah, I don't know, I feel weird. Oh my God.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that.
Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
If you just agree to stop having these parties, like we could just both walk away.
It wasn't that loud.
This is going nowhere. Excuse me, I think we're done.
Okay, ladies, let's go.
Welcome back, ladies. I would think that if you can't live in separate apartments in a building, that you would have a hard time in a 5x9 cell. Is my thinking accurate?
Yep.
Okay. Why don't you fill out the envelopes privately and hand them to the bailiff when you're done. You may have also noticed that there's the wheel of justice in the courtroom. This is how the punishment for the loser will be determined. Madam Court Reporter, would you be so kind as to bring the wheel of justice front and center, please? Madam Court Reporter, please give it a nice spin. What is the result?
Cone of shame.
Cone of shame. Okay, that is an interesting punishment. Ladies, do you know what the cone of shame is?
Yes.
No.
When a dog has a surgery, they put a cone of shame around its neck. They call it a cone of shame because a dog is a creature that doesn't know any better than to lick and scratch at its own wounds. So the cone of shame, one or both of you will be wearing the cone of shame and will be walked around the courtroom like a dog if you are the loser. I'm going to take a brief recess while we set up the punishment station. Ladies, as you will see, the punishment station has been set up. But before we get to the verdict, let's look at your envelopes of fate and see how you decided to treat each other. Maybe no one's going to be wearing that today. Okay. Let's start with Ms. Hernandez's card. Ms. Hernandez did not seek to show any mercy to you, Ms. Peyton. She sought to have you punished. Now let's turn to Ms. Peyton's card. Unsurprising, there's no love lost between these two neighbors. So let's get into the verdict. Ms. Hernandez, I want to discuss first your racial discrimination claims. In court, we have a concept known as the burden of proof. You presented no evidence outside of your own testimony that Ms. Peyton acted with any racial animus towards you. You did not meet your burden of proof. These are very strong allegations, Ms. Hernandez. Moreover, as we saw in the police reports, everyone from the responding officer to the sergeant charged with looking at the case were of a Hispanic origin. They don't have any racial animus towards you, Ms. Hernandez. Your claim with respect to racial harassment and discrimination is denied. Now, you also made a claim regarding nuisance, I presume, with respect to Ms. Peyton's dogs barking. The court simply does not believe that they barked for an ongoing, continuous period of time, which is what would be required to cause substantial interference with your enjoyment of your home. We don't find that that occurred. So that claim is also denied. Now I'm going to turn to Ms. Peyton's claims. Ms. Peyton made two claims of nuisance. One regarding food odors, for which she also presented zero evidence. That claim is denied. However, with respect to the noise complaint, she did present solid, verifiable evidence in the form of audio recordings. Accordingly, your claim for nuisance is granted. Judgment is entered in favor of the plaintiff and against the defendant. Plaintiff, you shall walk the defendant around the courtroom while the defendant wears the cone of shame. It is so ordered.
What?
Madam Court Reporter, if you would be so kind as to place the cone of shame, collar, and dog leash around the defendant's neck, and we could proceed with the punishment. Ms. Hernandez, please proceed.
Me la vas a pagar.
Ms. Peyton, Ms. Hernandez, please get down on the floor. Down, ground.
This way, I guess.
Ms. Peyton, you could show her mercy at any point.
Or not.
All right, let's go. On your own time.
You know, actually, I can invite you to the party, but you were so.
I don't want to go to your party.
Okay, now
I don't
you
want to go to
wouldn't
your
be
party. I want you to
invited to the
stop.
party. You
See,
wouldn't
this
be
isn't even.
invited
This
to the
isn't
party.
even.
You wouldn't be invited to the party. What do you think?
Okay, please stand up. Is there something that you want to say to Ms. Peyton?
I'm sorry that your life is so boring. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You were literally
I
just
didn't make
walking
you-
around the courtroom
I didn't.
on all
I
fours,
wasn't
and you're
walking
gonna
around
stand
the-
here and
It's
continue
not
to
my
insult
fault
me.
that you ex
Okay.
Ms.
You know?
Peyton,
All right.
in my opinion, I think you have gotten justice today. Thank you very much for your conduct, Ms. Hernandez.
You're welcome.
Court is adjourned.